This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 39, verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahushai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Brakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Sirach, also known as the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39, verse 1, is that I want to bring out some prophetic events, all right, pertaining to prophecy, all right, because this is the will of the Lord. This shows that prophecy is occurring, you know, whether you believe it or not. Okay, we hear the prophets of Yahweh, Bashim al-Shai, we believe, all right, that all these events that are happening is leading to our salvation, meaning the return of Yahweh Shai and the destruction of this place, you know, this wicked kingdom, because the Lord's eyes are on this sinful kingdom. In fact, let me get that. Milk scripture, Amos chapter 9, verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord God are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. Right, and what's that sinful kingdom today? America, Babylon the Great. Okay, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord Yahweh. Right, because the elect are going to be delivered, all right, from the coming destruction when America is destroyed, that sinful kingdom. Okay, and that's why the scripture says was written aforetime, written for our learning. All right, now we know, you know, if you read this in context, this was pertaining to the our people, the Israelites, all right, but you can apply it today, all right. What is not America a sinful kingdom? Is not America being ran by Epstein regime pedophiles and Satanists? All right, that's a sinful kingdom, correct? 9. For lo, I will command and will sift the house of Israel among all nations, right? Because our people were scattered. That's why you got to understand, all right, the history of our people. You know, what happened? Why were we scattered? Because we sinned against the Lord. Okay? And that's how you know when Yahweh Shai returns, he's going to gather his elect, all right, wherever they be scattered at. That's the prophetic scriptures. In fact, let's get that. I was just going to talk about this ongoing war, but see, the spirit is, all right, is moving. I'm not going to quench the spirit. Matthew chapter 24, right? What does it talk about the elect that are in the four corners of the earth, right? Let's get it. The glorious return. That's right, Yahweh Shai. It wordingly calls Jesus. Matthew chapter 24, verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Right, this is talking about the nuclear destruction that's coming. All right, but first we need the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. That's a prophetic scripture that we're waiting on. That's why you got to be occupied in prophecy. Verse 30. Then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. Then shall all the tribes of earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds. Right, Yahweh Shai and the angels, okay, of heaven with power and great glory. 31, here's a point. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect, the elect of the nation of Israel, from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Why? Because we were scattered. As it says, let's go back. the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 9, for lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations. Right. Okay, because we were scattered among all nations. Like as a corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. Right. Those who have been deemed for salvation, the elect. 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. Right. Okay, here it is. We're in the beginning stages of World War III. You got Iran now, okay, in the offensive now. They did a surprise attack on American military base out in Jordan. Okay, this just happened 2 hours ago. Breaking news. All right. So that means this war is getting spicy and a lot bigger. All right, and get ready for boots on the ground. Okay, it's coming. It's coming. All right, something's about to happen. I want to be surprised that a false flag occurs, whether it be here, in this country, via cyber attack, which will lead to a change in the whole financial system, or some type of pocket nuke goes off, right? Okay, and they'll blame it on Iran, all right? And it could be America or them JJs, because them JJs, they want this war to get bigger. BB the bomber, hold on. That's why you got to be occupied in prophecy. BB, Netanyahu, a.k.a. the bomber, okay? Donald Trump, a.k.a. Nero, right? What are they doing today? Okay, Trump, many important subjects were discussed at a very good meeting. Right. Iran war updates. Trump meets the JJs, Bibi the bomber, Netanyahu. Okay, this all happened today. That's why you got to be occupied in prophecy. Right. President Donald Trump and the state of the JJ Prime Minister Benjamin Bibi the bomber Netanyahu held a crucial 90-minute closed-door meeting at the White House. What do you think talking about? The sports games? They think they're talking about the upcoming football games? Maybe they're talking about basketball, LeBron James, right? You know? Maybe they're talking about video games, you know? The new what the fuck? The new basketball game coming out for the PS5. Maybe they're talking about GTA 6. Anyway, that's why you got to be occupied in prophecy, man. The encounter highlights a growing strain and divergence in their interests 5 months after jointly launching a military offensive against Iran. And this is all fog of war, smokescreen. What's really happening is that Donald Trump is playing good cop, BB's playing bad cop, okay? But they're all connected to the hip. They all want this war, all right? Don't let this whole, they're at odds with each other and Donald Trump is standing firm, no. All right, because if that was the case, all right, he wouldn't have started the war to begin with. Okay, facts. All right, he's joined to the hip with the JJs, and they're about to pass the new National Defense Authorization Act. Okay, which literally, the America will be is literally the state of the JJs 2.0. I'm being facetious. It's not. America's Babylon the Great. But America is owned by the JJs, okay? The international bankers, man, all right? The National Defense Authorization Act proves that, and they're going to pass it, all right? If they want that money, they want to continue, if they want the JJs money, international bankers that control, okay, the economy, right? Who controls the economy, all right? Let's see. Let's look at one character right here. BlackRock CEO. Okay? Larry Fink. JJ. That's just one. Okay? Maybe we'll go to another one. Let's go. Social media. Okay? What? Mark Zuckerberg, Meta, okay? So who controls this economy? The JJs, okay? All right? And I can go on and on and on. Oh, who is the secretary? Who is the deputy of the Secretary of War? Steve Feinberg, a JJ, Deputy Secretary of War. He's the one really pulling the strings, all right? Another JJ. So the country's been hijacked, all right? But you keep on watching your sports games, you know? Let's see if they'll deliver you. So again, this is why I got to bring this out, because Jake don't believe that the evil is going to overtake nor prevent us. They really think that America is going to protect them. They're trusting in the shadow Egypt. And that proves that you're not occupied in prophecies, because look, man, all right, Iran turning up. Iran launched a surprise ballistic missile attack against U.S. forces in the Middle East July 28, 2026. U.S. Central Command confirms that all incoming Iranian missiles were successfully intercepted by the air defense system. Do you believe that shit? You believe that? All right. Meanwhile, you got soldiers dying. Then now there's a report that came out, 600 casualties of Iran war. The Pentagon official Iran war database has eclipsed 1,600 total U.S. service member casualties, currently sitting at 18 killed and 624 wounded. Do you even believe that a lot of this wounded were killed too, but they're not going to say it? Right? This is the fog of war, man. Okay? The updated toll files a controversial database reclassification that split the war into two phases. Right? They're trying to, all right, cook the books, clean up the numbers. All right? And this is what they're letting us know. You know the numbers are a lot higher. Okay? So to think that, you know, the CENTCOM is telling the truth is bullshit. All right? It was a surprise ballistic missile attack. Surprise, meaning they weren't prepared. They weren't ready. Regarding the threat of land war, Iranian state officials and military mouthpieces have explicitly warned that they are prepared for a ground invasion. Yup. They have threatened to set American troops on fire if the U.S. launches a ground operation in Iranian territory. Right, and it's going to happen. There is going to be a ground invasion. All right, because this prophecy says it right here. Joel chapter 2, verse 20. But I will remove far off from you the northern army, and I will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward the east sea. Right, what is it? His face toward the east sea. All right, that's talking about the Euphrates River, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea. Right. So, what is the utmost sea? All right, it's talking about the Red Sea. Okay, the Suez Canal that goes into the Red Sea. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he have done great things. Right. All right. Because America is being judged for all his wickedness. Okay, all the harm and oppression that America has done to the children of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans. Okay. 21. Fear not, O land, be glad and rejoice, for the Lord will do great things. 22. Be not afraid, ye beasts of the field, for the pastures of the wilderness do spring, for the tree beareth her fruit. The fig tree and the vine do yield their strength. 23. Be glad then, ye children of Zion, and rejoice in the Lord your God. Right? You're supposed to be rejoicing over these prophecies, man. You're not supposed to be depressed. The Lord is making things happen. That's why you got to be occupied in prophecy. For he hath given you the former rain moderately, and he will cause to come down for you the rain, the former rain, and the latter rain in the first month. Right? Because, hey, we're going to be taken care of, man. When the Lord delivers us, the kingdom of heaven is going to be, okay, full of milk and honey. We're going to always get rain. We're always going to be taken care of by our power, man. Okay? This is the kingdom of heaven. That's why you got to be looking forward to these prophecies, because the kingdom of heaven is coming, man. Yahweh Shai is coming. Like, this is clearly evident that Yahweh Shai is coming with these, because of these wars. All right? And the Lord is setting this all up. He's making sure these wars get bigger. All right? because the prophecies have to be fulfilled. All right, so we can get up out of here. 24, and the floor shall be full of wheat, and the fat shall overflow with wine and oil. Right, this is in the kingdom of heaven. 25, and I will restore you to the years that the locusts have eaten, the cankerworm and the caterpillar and the palmer worm, my great army which I sent among you. Right, and that's the thing. The Lord's going to restore us, all right, to our former estate. That's why when you read the book of Acts chapter 1, the disciples say, well, at this time will you restore the kingdom to Israel? Restore us, bring us back to our former state. That's who salvation's for, the Israelites. Okay? It ain't for the heathens. The heathens are going into slavery. 26, and ye shall eat in plenty and be satisfied and praise the name of the Lord your God. Right, praise the name. IUIC. All right? Praise Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that have dealt wondrously with you, and my people shall never be ashamed. Right, we'll never be ashamed, man. 27, and ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and none else, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed. All right, so we got great things coming for us. That's why you got to stay locked in, occupied in prophecy. That's what the point of this lesson is. Stay occupied in prophecies. Okay, things are heating up. Keep reading. 28, and it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams. Your young men shall see visions. And you're seeing this today. All right? All right? Throughout all the nations. Okay? Having these visions of the end times. 29, and also upon the servants and upon the handmaids, in these days will I pour out my spirit. Right? Okay? And you're seeing, all right, the servants of the Lord, which are the prophets being raised up. Okay? Teaching the words of the Lord. And that's why the prophecies are moving fast. That's why you got to be occupied in prophecy. 30, and I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood, fire, and pillars of smoke. Another prophecy. Look at this. This is in Europe. Check this out.
Tonight, relentless balls of flame raging across Europe as fire crews and military personnel battle historic blazes in France, Spain, and Italy. More than 300...
France, Spain, and Italy are being cooked right now. Okay? France, Spain, and Italy. This is a major sign. That's why you got to be occupied in prophecy. Yahweh Shai is about to make his return. We're just waiting for that RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, and it's coming.
60,000 residents and tourists have now been evacuated. One of the fiercest battles being fought in France's iconic Bordeaux wine region. The view from the front line.
And this is going to have major effects on their economy. Okay? This is going to have major effects on their economy, and they're going to get angry with America, all right, because of this whole, and the statehood of Israel, all right, because of this whole war that they started, which is affecting their economy. And now with this wildfire, see how the Lord's cooking? The Lord is messing their economy up so much that the beast shall hate the whore, man. Okay? Something's going to happen, man. All right? It's only a matter of time. And France has nuclear weapons, by the way. Yeah. It's getting spicy, man. It's getting spicy. All right? That's why you got to be occupied in prophecy.
Captured on this French firefighter's body camera as their team confronts a blaze on a country road.
It's very difficult for the firemen to fight the fire.
France for the first time facing...
Yeah, because it's the Lord. All right, he sends the fire. Hold up. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder. Oh, yeah. Where's it at? Over here in Florida, all right, a house in Port St. Lucie, all right, got lit up, okay, in flames by a lightning strike, okay? And then you have a lightning strike causes gas leak, water main break in North Palm Beach. So you got the Lord, okay, sending his lightning strikes on these people here in America, just tagging them up. Body shots, man. Body shots. The Lord has given America body shots with his weather warfare, man. Oh yeah, end the world, yeah, man, it's going down, man. All right, and with great earthquake. Oh, remember Japan this morning? Japan got rocked. Japan earthquake today. All right, boodow. Okay, another body shot. Ooh, in the gut, man. Yeah, that was the Lord could have sent this straight to Ammon. Can't stand them. All right, because they're proud, man. Ammon is proud as fuck. So the Lord had to humble them with an earthquake. All right, just like he humbled Venezuela last month with an earthquake. Okay, yeah. All right, the Lord is humbling these people, man. And this is a sign that he's visiting the earth. And great noise with storm and tempest. Right, you got floods in New York. Floods in New York. Okay, look at that. They got a flood watch warning. Okay, here it is. You know, a lot of these proud ass New Yorkers were like, yeah, Florida's gonna get hit with lots of floods, you know, but what's it called? Now look, New York is getting hit with the floods. All right, storm triggers major flooding, tornado watch in New Jersey. New York City braces for potential life-threatening flooding as massive storm. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're like, oh, Florida's gonna get hit with floods and a storm. All right. Meanwhile, y'all getting hit up there, proud ass New Yorkers. Take that, take that. All right. No diddy. So anyway, that's the Lord judging, man. In the flame of devouring fire, right? Devouring fire. Here we go. Devouring fire. Let's play this again. Remix. That's why you gotta be occupied in prophecy.
France's iconic Bordeaux wine region. The view from the front line captured on this French firefighter's body camera as their team confronts a blaze on a country road.
It's very difficult for the firemen to fight the fire.
France for the first time facing so-called fire clouds, pillars of smoke and flame so big they can generate their own lightning. France's
That's the Lord. All right, who's doing this? The Lord. Okay.
President Macron on Monday calling the fires the worst situation they've had to deal with since World War II.
Again, since World War II. Everything is since World War II. Since World War II. Why? Because we're at the beginning of World War III. All right. So everything is happening again, man. Pattern recognition. Okay. Nothing new under the heaven, man. All right. Also, let's go back to Joel. Chapter 2, verse 30, and I will show wonders in heavens and in earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. Got to bring this out. Upcoming August 12th, a total solar eclipse. All right? And I would not be surprised that the elites, okay, the secret societies, the witches and warlocks, they ritualize this day. Okay? And again, could be a cyber attack, which would forward the change of this whole economy to a cashless digital prison, all right, which will lead up to the RFID chip, the mark of the beast, or it could be a pocket nuke that they blame on Iran, okay, or maybe Trump does it, say fuck it. Trump tries to do a limited tactical nuke on Iran, which makes the war 10 times worse, and it gives the motivation for all these nations to build nukes so that prophecy can be fulfilled. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Shoot at who? America, Babylon the Great. All right. Again, being occupied in prophecy. See, this is what we talk about. Okay. We talk about the works of the Lord and how things play out pertaining to prophecy. Okay. And again, the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. All right. Maybe they'll ritualize it on this day. Okay. Something happens. Maybe they'll put it all over the news that a miracle. Okay. On this particular day. All right. Oh, there's a miracle. Someone who's been chipped up, he's able to do a whole bunch of things he hasn't done before. Maybe they chip a Jake. Okay. Who knows? All right. But that's why we occupy in prophecy is of the Lord. All right. But we do know that chip is coming. We do know that we're in the beginning of World War III, and we do know that World War III ends with nuclear war. Right? Let the Lord's will be done. That's why you got to stay occupied in prophecy. Revelation 19 and 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. That's right. Okay, and that's why we occupy in prophecy, because, all right, that's the testimony of Yahushai. Because this is the will of the Lord. All right. To let us know that salvation is near sooner than when we believe. Okay? Salvation is near. Yahushua is coming to gather his elect out of the nation of Israel. That's why when you go back to the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 11, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen and close up the breaches thereof. Right. And you notice the wacky tacky plantation Christians, they never talk about the tabernacle of David. They never talk about this. And I will raise up his ruins and I will build it as in the days of old. Right. This is the unification of the 12 tribes of Israel. 12. That they may possess the remnant of Edom and all the heathen which are called by my name, saith the Lord, that doeth this. Right. Because, hey, they're going to go into captivity. They're going to be our possession. All right. These heathens are going to be our possessions. Okay. They're going to be serving us. All right. They're going to be picking up our what's it called? I was going to say groceries, but no, they're going to be cultivating our land. All right. Picking our grapes, picking our vegetables. All right. Yeah. Okay. Getting our gold, getting our silver. Yeah. The women will be our their women will be our concubines. Yeah, that's the blessing. Okay. 13. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the tread of the grapes him that soweth seed, and the mountain shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. You see that? The time will come, says the Lord, when the grain and grapes will grow faster than they can be harvested, then the terrace vineyards of the hills of Israel will drip with sweet wine. Well, that's interesting that they took this out. See, that's why sometimes the NLT version be going off, because this is a very important, prophecy. The plowman shall overtake the reaper. Who's the plowman? Us, the Israelites. Okay? And who's the reaper? All right? These heathens, mainly the Edomites, the so-called white man, as well as them JJs and 1948ers and small hats, the international bankers, right? 14, and I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them, and right, okay, fruit of them. So this is the kingdom of heaven. Okay, again, I will bring my exiled people of Israel back from distant lands. So that's why you got to be occupied in prophecy, because look, man, all right, we're about to go home. We're about to be delivered from wherever we were scattered at. Okay. 15, and I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land, which I have given them, saith the Lord thy power. Right, and this confirms, that this is talking about us, man. When the Lord delivers us and places us back in our homeland. It's not talking about them JJs, them 1948ers, them small hats. All right, they're leaving the Holy Land out of fear of getting smacked up by Iranian ballistic missiles or Houthi ballistic missiles, or Hezbollah. All right, you have a huge exodus of these JJs leaving their homeland, so they can't. That's not that. Let me say it this way: that just confirms that they're not the chosen people, and that they're not fulfilling the prophecies. The prophecies say that the Lord will bring His people back into the Holy Land, and they'll never be plucked up ever again. So, Lord willing, this is edifying. Again, be occupied in prophecy. And of course, by being occupied in prophecy, salvation is near. All right. So, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep ignoring, keep the faith, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep studying. Pray without ceasing. Pray for each other. Pray for the apostle elders. We're almost out of here. For the few sisters that are watching, keep studying. And when you pray, pray, cover. Shalom. And as the apostle elders always say, on to the next one. Shalom.